If you monetize your YouTube channel sometime in the last 12 months, you're probably freaking out right now trying to figure out why the income on your videos has suddenly collapsed. Well, I'm sorry to say this, but it's your own fault, and let that be a lesson for you. Don't trust YouTube AdSense.
Let me show you what I mean. This channel is running up to the end of a year with a daily revenue of between $8 and $11, which is fair enough. But the moment we see the channel tick over to the new year, daily revenue drops to between $5 and $7, a more than 25% decrease.
Now, you may argue that this has something to do with views, right? Wrong.
Over the time period in question, views were incredibly stable. If anything, they went slightly up, and yet the daily revenue for the channel clearly and suddenly drops.
So if this has happened to you, let us all share in this collective misery by adding your stories in the comments below. And while this video is mostly about the trials, tribulations and pitfalls of YouTube AdSense, do make sure to stick around to the end because I have something truly mind-blowing that's going to put all of this into perspective.
So what on earth is going on here? Is 2022 going to be another year of YouTube sticking it to creators whenever they get the opportunity?
Well, obviously no. Because if you've been monetized for any longer than 12 months, you will know that this decline in ad revenue is somewhat of an annual YouTube tradition. In previous years, for the channel seen here, the ad revenue drop has been even steeper. And you know what? This is going to happen next year, and the year after that, and the year after that, and so on. And there's one very simple reason for this. Everyone's run out of money, although I do have this lovely vidIQ sticker.
What do you do in the run-up to the holiday season? You buy gifts, of course, for yourself, family, friends, pets, everyone except me. And you often do that under the influence of advertising, and YouTube is no different. Brands will push their products as aggressively as they can while people are spending money.
And then, come January, everybody gets their credit card statements and goes off into financial hibernation for a couple of months.
And it's pretty much the same scenario for most brands. They spend the majority of their advertising budget in the final quarter of the year. Now, if you look at the YouTube algorithm or recommendation system and how video views fluctuate over time, one of the major factors is seasonality. And it's exactly the same for YouTube ad revenue. Seasonality affects what adverts are shown to viewers and how much it costs to put them on YouTube.
And for most brands, this seasonal advertising inflection point comes around like clockwork every single year on the 31st of December. But not every brand.
Still going. No.
Yes, if you're in the business of selling New Year's resolutions, then now might be peak advertising season. If there are any fitness channels, diet channels, or any other channels who are experiencing an increase in ad revenue and CPM, do let us know in the comments below. And enjoy it. You've earned it.
But generally speaking, from a creator's perspective, what can you do to mitigate this sudden, unavoidable, inevitable plunge in revenue every single year? Well, you can create a little smarter. The amount of advertising in your video topic is pretty predictable over the course of a year. So if you know when CPM and ad revenue increases in your video space, then make content you know your audience is going to watch during those time periods and make as much of it as possible. Just as a simple example, there is a reason why tech channels do Black Friday live streams and gift buying ideas over the course of November and December. Then, when ad revenue starts to decline, reduce your video output. If you don't do that, then the logic is unfortunately pretty simple. You're working just as hard, but being paid a little bit less. Instead, invest the money you earned during those lucrative ad revenue days and the time you're gaining by not making videos and reinvest it all back into the channel. That could be through buying and learning how to use new equipment for your YouTube videos. It could be taking an online course to improve your editing skills or your on-camera presence. Or simply take a break, recharge your batteries, come back when ad revenue starts to stabilize. And it will, it always does. But perhaps more importantly than anything I've just said, here's what you need to do with YouTube AdSense. You need to stop relying on it. You have almost no control over how much you get paid for adverts on your YouTube videos. The only solution to that is to get more views, and even then, you still might not get more ad revenue depending on the time of year. And YouTube holds all of the keys. They can flip a switch and it affects you. Instead, seek out brand deals and sponsorships where you at least have the power to negotiate your own value. Develop products, services, and merch that you can sell directly to your audience. And if you talk about and review products in your videos, make sure to set up affiliate links so you get a little bit of kickback from them. In most cases, AdSense revenue makes up a small percentage of the total income of a successful YouTube channel. But all of that requires you to turn your YouTube channel into a business. Remember, create smarter. Now, having said all of that, YouTube ad revenue is incredible for one thing: long-term passive income. Let me show you what I mean.
The revenue data I showed you earlier on in this video all comes from my old YouTube tech channel. When I joined vidIQ, I mothballed the channel and haven't published a single video in almost 4 years.
Fun fact, one of the play buttons from my shelves comes from that channel. Anyway, have a guess how much revenue I've earned from that channel since I last published a video. I'll give you 5 seconds.
Without lifting a finger, in almost 4 years, the channel has generated more than $28,000. And you know what? I think I've invested that money very, very wisely in some pretty awesome NFTs.
And if you want to learn more about how to earn money beyond YouTube ad revenue, then check out this video over here. It's awesome as well.